Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would show you a couple of things synonymous with Thousand Trails camping. Not always, but sometimes it can get a little less than desirable. For instance, let me get a little distance here so you can grasp the whole picture. See if I can turn the camera around. Bear with me, I'm holding a cup of coffee at the same time. So as you can see, the lot size is severely lacking. I've got my towed vehicle pulled in it barely makes it off the road back there before it comes in contact with the fire ring. There's enough room on the patio for the picnic table and my e-bikes that are attached to the picnic table. Had to put my dog pen out here in the front, and then my next door neighbor moved in yesterday. I had my car parked over here, but when he came in, I moved that for him. So, and then the other neighbor on the other side, you can see there's enough room for his towed besides the vehicle, and I think he has to be very careful opening his door not to hit it. So one of the other things I want to show you and this is not a complaint by any means, but it's just an oddity. I want you to pay attention to what you're going to hear here in just a couple of seconds, I'm sure. All right, that little whirring you hear right now is my heat. All right. And it's currently 22 degrees here in Fairplay, South Carolina. And this vehicle next to me is a Hurricane. I spoke to the gentleman day before yesterday, I think. He's been in it 3 years. And as soon as I started taking the video, all of a sudden there's a huge gap between what I wanted to show you. But we've been listening to the music of a very poorly adjusted propane furnace for the time that we've been here, to the point it's so bad that my neighbor over here asked me if that was my furnace that he was hearing, and I told him no, it wasn't mine, it was the fella next to me. So it's it's an interesting thing. I don't know whether he's turned it down, because it usually will only be off for about maybe 30 to 45 seconds, and then it'll kick back on. So I figure he's probably up and about and has turned it down. But at any rate, so one of the other things I'll show you here is, while we're standing here, is this in South Carolina. I guess they don't have very many freezing days, but the water pipes are all sticking up above ground, just like this one. This one does have some insulation on it, but most of them that I've seen has no insulation at all. This one, the insulation is not very good, but and it was in fact frozen when we got here. But when I hooked the heated water hose up to it in an hour or so, it was thawed out. So no worries there. But you can see from the pedestal to the side of my RV, not very much room on this side, and on the other side, well, you can see here as well. I'm taking up the entire length of the site. Got my toad crammed in here, making it interesting getting in and out. But you can see I'm all the way right next to the sewer connection for the lot next to me. So they have really not gone above and beyond with the site size. Well, apparently my next door neighbor has turned his heat down, because there's no way that it's gone this long. without that. But put it in here, and I even have a satellite dish. I'm not sure if that's in my site or in the next door neighbor's site, but either way, it's kind of like right on the line. I put my pin around it, checked with him when he moved in and seen if I need to move that over a little bit to give him a little more room, but he's a very nice fellow. All right, so we'll pick this up again, maybe once I get into the Jeep, and we'll take a ride around the park, see what we can see. All right, stick with me. Okay, let's take a little tour of the park. Let's see. Let's go this way first. That way you can see that terrible stump that caused me such great pain. That little fella right there on the right, you can see is where my RV met its current condition. Notice, I don't know if you can see it now because I've gotten a little bit too far, but see how close it is to the road, and there's some posts on the other side over there, so it makes it very difficult to make that turn. Not in a Jeep, but in a 45-foot RV, a little bit difficult. See if we can get some of that off of the windshield for you. All right, there's a swimming pool here on the left. I guess y'all seen that when we went by. It looks like it's still got water in it. I don't know. Maybe that's optimism. Because it's terribly cold down here. And I see golf cart parking here on the left, so I'm assuming that this is a bathhouse maybe. Basketball court on the left here. You can see some of the sites have patios basically because it's so daggone unlevel. You need a patio to get out of your RV. But let's see. I went down here yesterday. Broken water pipe here at the edge of the road that's been leaking since we got here, but I think that's something to do with a meter. Okay, one thing I will say about this particular Thousand Trails, the water pressure here is amazing. I'm telling you, it is. You could pressure wash your old pots and pans in the sinks when you're hooked up to this water. The pressure is brutal. I mean, it's if you're one that I particularly like a lot of pressure in the shower, and it is right up my alley. So I enjoy it greatly. However, one of the upgrades that I have done on my RV since we're in the planning stages of being full-time is to put a bidet seat on the half bath toilet. So in not all cases is a great deal of pressure advantageous. So if you're familiar with a bidet, I think bidet is French for ass washer or something along those lines. But look at the size of the cabins that they've got here. This is they got some pretty good sized cabins. Now this is 2 cabins in one, but it's still looks like it ought to be a pretty decent stay. And they have some that's even bigger than that one. So this loops around, and you can see there's a sign up there that says no RVs past this point, and there are some RVs down here. So I don't know how they managed to get them down here. But they are here. If you can look up there on the hill, you see that cabin that's up there. That cabin on the hill. That sounds like a country song or a bluegrass song or something. But you can see that one is a pretty good size, nice layout, screened-in back porch, front porch with the rocking chairs and whatnot on it. So real nice. I haven't seen the inside of them, but from the outside, they look very luxurious. Look like there would be plenty of space in there. And there is quite a few of them down here, so fire ring outside, of course. Little Special parking area for each cabin. Probably just wide enough for you to put 2 cars in. Since there's 2 cabins there, that would optimizing every square inch of space. But here is the lake. I'm not sure what the name of the lake is, but it is a rather nice lake. At the dock down there, plenty of, looks like a pretty good sized lake as well. So a lot to see here. A couple picnic tables, bench to sit there and just watch the lake if you'd like. Got some doggy station here. Very nice area down here. Like you can see, I don't know how they got this guy down here, but some are braver than myself, I guess. So I guess when you really want to be at a certain spot, you can figure out a way. But as you can see, they're scattered down here, and God only knows how they got them in here. So, somebody with a high level of talent, I would imagine. Okay, let's see what else we got. This is my first time driving around the campground per se. I did come down to the lake yesterday, I believe. I guess let me put my seatbelt on so we don't have that constant dinging on my video. That's one of them things I'm learning as we go. Apologies. That's gonna be the theme of my channel, I think. I'm gonna change the name from Photos and Footprints to Mass Apologies. See, some people are here for an extended stay because that's a heck of a propane tank right there. You can also see that it's quite hilly. Roads go up and down, so my neighbor that pulled in next to me yesterday was saying that he wanted to get down here on the lake, and looking at the tail on his RV, I told him I didn't think that was possible because he was going to be dragging halfway down the hill because he had quite a lot of RV behind the wheels, such as this other Montana sitting right up here on the hill. So, all right, let's see. I don't know. Let's go up here to the B section. We'll see what's going on up there. I am in the A section. I'm at A26, I think it is. If you're here and you've got a big rig, avoid the area of A10 and the stump fiasco. I don't know. All right, so there's some. I guess this is more RVs down this way, and that down there I believe is just a little road that goes around the outside of the campground, although I do see a camper down there. A fellow with a lawnmower under his camper. Now that's, to me, that defeats the whole purpose of living full time. I don't want a lawnmower anywhere near my camper that belongs to me anyway. I'm very much in favor of the lawn and the area around the camper being beautified, but I just ain't gonna do it. And here you can see. Now you might think this is a little bit rough, but this apparently is a typical South Carolina highway. So I'm gonna tell you what. My last trip to Texas, I had determined that Arkansas had the worst roads in the continental U.S., but I believe that South Carolina can give it a run for its money, because this is some terrible road conditions around here. Yesterday, we went into Hartford, Georgia, and the difference on 85 South, when you go in from South Carolina to Hartford, Georgia, is astounding. The roads in Georgia are like glass when you're coming off of South Carolina 81. It's a night and day difference right there at the line. It's like you've time traveled into another dimension. So kudos to Georgia. I don't know whether the whole state is like that, but good job on first appearances. All right, and this is back down where we just went before with the water leak. And if we take a left here, we go up toward the office and the clubhouse area. It's not a really big, I don't know what this building is there on the right, but it appears to be a clubhouse of some sort. And then up here on the left is the bathhouse and office space. And over there on the right is another building. I'm not sure if that's a sales office or a clubhouse, but it could be either one, I suppose. I know Thousand Trails loves to have a nice sales office. And I don't know exactly what this place is, but hey, we are retired now, so we're just going back there. Oh, here we go. All right, they got a dump station up here if you don't have a sewer site. A dump station and water for cleaning your tank. Very well marked as water to clean the tank. Oh wow, they got some more RV sites back this way, and this is all cautioned off with tape. What did that say? Couldn't read what the sign said on the door. Something was prohibited. Looks like there's a swimming pool here, so I think that's what this looks like on the right. Maybe not. Might be a bocce ball court or pickleball court. Who knows? Let's find out together. Oh, nope, it's a courtyard. I would imagine that is a sales office, because it looks like a closing area to come out so you can smoke your cigarettes and feel comfortable while they tell you what a great opportunity you're about ready to miss. Which I will concur with that. If you are interested in a Thousand Trails membership, in my opinion, especially if you camp a lot, it is very worthwhile. We have a membership that allows us to go 21 days at each park and to go from park to park. Now, I'm not going to go down there because there's a black cat down there, so that's not going to be my path. Not usually superstitious, but why risk it? We let him have his path and I'll have mine. I'll probably end up at the back of the sales office up here, so but yeah, I think Thousand Trails is a very good, it serves a very good purpose, fulfills a vital need. If you're on the road camping, it will save you a ton of money, because I pay about $500, or maybe, I don't know, right at $600 a year now. And since I'm over the age of 62, my annual dues are frozen, so that's all I'll pay for the rest of my life. I think it's $602 or something like that a year. So not a bad deal. The mortgage on my house was a little over $1,800 a month. So now I've dropped from $1,800 a month to $602 a year. So I saved a few cents. All right, I think that is probably, I think that's pretty much all of the park. They do have the office straight ahead of us. I don't know what else is in there. I'm not sure if there's a little store in there or not. I do see a cigarette can out in the back. If I get back up this way on foot, we'll investigate. I see some cornhole boards that are stacked up there behind the building. So, of course, as you would expect, this time of year, there's almost no activities. She did say something about having bingo. I told her I wasn't that old yet, but To each his own. I just am not a big bingo fan. Last time I went to bingo, I played one card, and I sat across from a little old lady. At that point, I think I was probably 35 or 37, somewhere in that area. And the little old lady that sat across from me was probably in her 80s. She had 142 little figurine things, trolls, and I think they were mostly trolls, but all set on the table beside her. She had about 19 cards that she was playing simultaneously, and I'm playing one. And this lady said, "Honey, you missed one." That blew my mind. And I said, well, this is like rocket science to me. I think I'll just skip this, and because I'm not very good at it, that's for sure. Because this lady was twice my age and twice my efficiency at the same time. So, at any rate, back at the campsite with my better half here. She's been dressed in that robe just about every day since we've been here. Apparently, she really likes the warmth of my robe. So we'll get back with you a little later. We got any other adventures. Still haven't made it to karaoke night yet at the Hideaway, but I'm sure it's in the immediate plans. So we'll catch you a little bit later and add some more to this adventure. Well, good morning. Temperature's kind of cool this morning. My neighbor hasn't had a chance to get up yet, I don't think. So, take you over here and show you what I was trying to show you on the video yesterday. I don't know if you can hear that. You can see how far I am away from his RV. That deep rumbling sound is not supposed to be there. RV furnace is usually somewhat quiet. As you can see, we just got right beside the exhaust on mine, and I don't think, yeah, it is running, but I can't hear mine running over the next door neighbors. And like I was saying yesterday, when it cuts off, it'll only cut off for probably 30 to 45 seconds, and then it comes right back on. Sometimes when it ignites, it's like it lights and then goes right back out, and it'll do that once or twice. Then it'll light and rumble for 15 or 20 minutes, and then it'll cut off for 45 seconds. So I tried to speak with the gentleman. He's pretty significantly hearing impaired, has hearing aids, but still was struggling to hear me talk. And when I'm talking to someone in person, I'm not trying to be quiet so my neighbors don't hear it. It was in the middle of the day. So, but anyway, worked a little bit with the setup here yesterday. Got my table out so I could do some cooking. Got a chair out so I could do some sitting. And that little table, I got it out because it was in the way. So, but as you can see, boy, they spared no expenses on the spacing. Good morning. Got this neat little collar for my dogs. The one in the middle, that's Shomai. He's a I don't know, a Shih Tzu mix, I think. Sweet little fella when he's with mom and dad. bit of a butt with everybody else. The black one, them in pen, that's Dozer. Dozer has taken on the characteristics of Shomai, so he wants to bark at everybody. Keisha, her bark's not very loud. She's the one in the middle now. Her bark's not very loud, so it's not objectionable. But I have a bark collar on Shomai, so he doesn't bark. He's usually the one that really, his bark will carry for miles and miles. It seems like he's got a really piercing bark. Dozer, he has got the same. I don't know whether you heard it or not, but the heater just cut off and cut back on. So, but Dozer has gotten to where he barks at everything now, and so I got a training collar for him because he has a tendency to run off. And I've spent a couple of times chasing him around the neighborhood before we moved, and a couple of times at different campgrounds. So he's not very willing to come back. Once he gets away, he wants to explore, and he would probably do it all day, but I've managed to get him back a couple of times. The other day he got out here, and this collar, this training collar, I just went and got the transmitter, and the transmitter will allow me to just give him an audible beep, give him a vibration, or actually give him 2 levels of shock. And those levels are adjustable with the dial on the top. So several levels of shock actually, but so far, except for when he got out, is the only time that I've ever pushed the shock button, and it really didn't seem to faze him. But the vibration button really gets his attention. So after a couple of vibrations from the collar, and me repeatedly telling him to come back over here, he just came back over and got right beside me at the doorstep. I bent down and picked him up. So this thing is probably a lifesaver, his life, but as being so close to that road out there, you never know who's going to come by and at what speed, and his timing might be just perfect. So or just the opposite of perfect, I guess. Anyway, let me walk around here one more time. You can hear it as soon as you come around the corner, and realistically, you can hear it on the other side of the RV, and I hear it in the RV. But it catches your attention like the first night, but you get used to it, so not a big deal. But my concern is mainly for him, because it sounds like it's getting so much fuel. Let's see, it just cut off. Now you can hear mine. But it will only be a few seconds before it cuts back on. So I don't know. I guess the hearing disability really helps him with this issue, because that would drive me nuts. I'm concerned with mine because it doesn't smell exactly right. It smells a little bit like like dirty diesel, so I may have to it's probably about time to change the filters on mine, even though it's been in the shop for a year, but the filters have been sitting there submerged in diesel fuel. So and they're about a year or two old, I think. They've got the date written on the side of them. I think it was 2023. But yeah, so when I get near a place with diesel parts and that don't cost an arm and a leg, and there it goes, fired back up again. So as you can see, there's for those that know anything about furnaces, and you know that's not normal. So and hopefully he'll figure it out before the fire and get everything straight. He's a older gentleman, I think probably older than me even. So, but anyway, I managed to get this put together for you. I wanted to make sure I got it on the same video, so you would get an indication as to what I was trying to talk about yesterday at the beginning of the video. So If you like the content, take a moment, like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe button. It's gonna be right up there. So yeah, take your time to hit that like and subscribe button, and the notification bell. That way you'll know when I put out new content. I'm gonna try to put out content now that we're actually traveling. I'm gonna try to get the content put out every week. So and practice makes perfect. So I'm gonna try to get the content to be a little better every time. So we'll see. Put it in the comment section. If you got any ideas of what I can do to make the videos more interesting. Maybe I drone on too long. I don't know. It's a good possibility. I have a tendency. So at any rate, it's early. The bride hasn't woke up yet. The dogs are out. But I think I'm going to go in and have that first cup of coffee and warm up a little bit from walking you around. It is still quite cold here this morning, but it's supposed to be, we're supposed to have temperatures in the mid 40s today, I think, maybe even 50s. And later on this week, Wednesday and Thursday, it's supposed to be in the 60s. So, woohoo! All right. So, as always, remember, when camping, take only photos, leave only footprints. We'll see you next time.